We're going to talk about how I make $170 roughly every yay get up every 24 hours, or around $35,000 a year without lifting a finger. It's investing, man. It's something that I wish my mother, father, sister, older people had taught me. Somebody in my family, something I wish, to teach my offsprings. It's so simple. I started investing 2017 heavily. $350, my first investment, piece of land, 1.25 acres in Clewiston, Florida. It took $350 to put down on it to basically get it on the contract, and then I was making my payments $450 a month for a few months, and somebody offered to give me $16,000 for it. Long story short, we closed. I walk away with $500. I invested $700 in a Bitcoin at that time, which I wish I would have kept. I sold my Bitcoin at 17,000 and been buying real estate ever since. 2020 hit and real estate explode. I mean, super explode, right? And now my net worth on the low end by 300,000, high end by 500,000. I'm about to close on two more properties before the. By I'm about to close on one. Not by the 15th. I'm 15th or so. I'm about to close on one. That's gonna give me each of my business. It's four of us on that deal, and each of us gonna have about $10,000 equity on that property because it's worth about well, let me not talk too much, but each of my business partners, we're gonna have about $10,000 in equity on that one. Then we're gonna purchase another one. We're gonna close on probably by the end of the month, next month. Well, next month, and we probably have about $75,000 into it by the time, of which that property also only gonna cost us about $450 down. But over the next few years, we'll probably have about $75,000 into it with me and my business partner rebuilding that house and everything. But that house, right as it is, that house right now is worth about 160 something thousand, fixed up right now. But by the time we finish with it in a few years, it'll definitely be worth about 250,000, about 250,000. So that'll raise my net worth between four people. That'll raise my net worth another 25,000. But by then, I'll be done bought so many more properties. So this is how I'm able to raise my net worth, by buying properties with equity already built in or waiting for the equity to build up. But I say that story to say those last two properties, right? Those last two properties, with me having $10,000 equity in one and about $25,000 equity in another one. That's just two of the properties I'm acquiring this year. I've acquired 3 properties already this year, and I'm about to acquire another two, one this month, another one next month. So, but just the last two properties alone, that is $50,000. Excuse me, that's $35,000 in equity alone. That's 35,000 that I could tap into. That's $35,000 that I could tap into, borrow from at any point. That's $35,000 of income that I could borrow from myself. Okay? Or I could cash out. I could just simply sell those properties, cash out my I didn't even know I could do this green screen type of thing. But let me take that out. That's $35,000 worth of property that I could cash out. Okay? That I could cash out at any time. So, you know, oh wow, I didn't even realize. Let me put this one up because we having a little barbecue. I can make my background whatever I want it to be. I didn't even know I could do this on a live. I can make my background whatever I want it to be. Let me see if that works. I actually just want to show my view. Oh wow, that is so cool. I can make on a live, I can make my background whatever I want it to be. Oh wow. That's too cool. That is too cool. I literally just learned that just now. We having a little cookout later on, and that's my baby on a grill and stuff like that. But let me turn my camera around because that's what I really want to do. So y'all can see my view of this land out here. So basically, y'all, equity and investing is everything. Equity and investing is everything. All right. If you're not investing, if you're not building equity, you're working. You are working. Working. It's that simple. If you are not investing, you are just working. Get up, gotta go to work, Get up, gotta go to work. Literally, have to go to work. Literally, have to go to work. Let me ask y'all a question. You have to have a roof over your head every yay, right? You have to have a roof over your head every yay. You have to have food in your stomach every yay, right? Again, y'all say day, I say yay. All right? Why the hell you think you don't may have to get money every yay? But as sure as you have to or want to or would love to have a roof over your head every yay with air conditioning, heater, all that wonderful stuff, be comfortable and eat food, why cannot you as sure invest? Why cannot you invest just like you know for sure, man, I gotta have a roof over my head, man, I gotta have food in my stomach? Okay? Why can't you have multiple streams of income? And I'm not talking about 2-3 jobs. I'm talking about 7, 8 different multiple streams of income. Not 7, 8 different jobs. I'm talking about completely different. Like I got a YouTube channel. I got a university. I always wanted to start a school. I got my own school now. You know, Dragon Land University. I have a carpentry business, handyman business. I have my real estate business. I have Airbnb. I have long-term and short-term businesses. Okay? And I got a couple other businesses I can't even think of right now. When you get up every yay, one of your business ought to be making you money. If I don't make no money physically that yay, trust me, I done gained some equity on my properties. Every yay. If my tenants don't pay rent, if nobody call me to do any carpentry gigs, if a YouTube check don't come in, social media check don't come in, if a student don't give me any money, no matter what happens, I got about $170 coming to me every year just from my equity. Just from my equity that's building up that I could tap into at any point. Meaning I might get my property appraised right now, right? And they tell me, oh, that property there is worth $50,000. And then something happened and I need to pull some money out in the next few months. And I get it appraised again and they say, oh, it's worth $75,000. Oh, I meant to say there might be a situation where I purchase a property right now, okay? And I purchase it for $10,000 and it's worth $10,000, right? But I normally don't do it like that. I normally purchase properties now that's built in equity worth way more than I purchased it for. But let's just say I purchase a property right now for $10,000 and it's worth $10,000. Then a few months from now they say, hey, it's worth $15,000. I can tap into that $5,000. I could tap into that. Okay, now it's going to be money that either I have to sell the property for 15,000 and just cash out that 5,000, or I can borrow that 5,000 and keep the asset. Okay, either way, I could do either way. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell y'all is you can make money without even working, doing anything, by just acquiring an asset. It's just like a stock. You buy a stock for $100 right now, or cryptocurrency for $100 right now. In a few months, or a few weeks, few days, even, like, crypto is going crazy right now. It's going up right now. You might have put $100 in XRP a few weeks ago when it was $1 and change. Now it's at almost $3. So your $100 would be about $250 right now. Okay, you can cash out your $250 and have your $150 extra in your pocket. That's money you didn't work for or anything. All right. So this is how I make money. This is one of the ways I make money. And for the life of me, I don't know why people don't get it. Everybody I talk to, all my investor buddies and people like that, we don't get it, because you don't need credit. I was watching a video the other day. My investor buddies, they was talking about, we don't get how people don't comprehend what we're trying to say when we say you don't need credit. You don't need credit. And even if you do use credit or whatever, so many people teaching you that the whole credit system is a scam and that you could fix your credit easily. Just tell them none of them charges is yours, blah blah blah. And it's so easy. My phone getting hot back there. Let me cool my phone off. There's so many ways to make money with credit or without credit. Okay, so it's just ridiculous right now that we live in a time and an age, stocks going through the roof and people don't see that they invest. It's crazy. Like, you don't need to be buying no more alcohol, it's weed, like everything you have, you need to be investing right now. Everything is going through the roof. And we're all thinking that the markets are going to crash next. Buy back in once you see it's hit the bottom. But anyhow, I wanted to come on here. There's some more things I wanted to talk to y'all about. I know I hadn't done a video in a little while, but I've just gotten to have on YouTube right now. That don't motivate you. I don't know what to say. I really don't need to make any new videos. I have so many videos on YouTube. If y'all just go through all my videos on YouTube, and you'll see I just keep repeating myself. But that's what I notice with most YouTubers. All they do is get on YouTube EveryYay and keep repeating themselves, They're saying the same thing over and over again. And it'd be hundreds of YouTubers saying the same exact thing, and then they get on YouTube and say the same thing every month. And people don't get it. It's crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. My problem always been, I never had anybody to hold my hand. I never had anybody to really hold my hand. I would hear things, and I used to watch the infomercials and all that type of stuff like that. But I never had anybody to hold my hand. So I offer that to people. I offer to hold y'all hand, because I know that's why a lot of people don't get it. I know that's why a lot of y'all don't get it. Y'all don't have anybody to literally hold y'all hand, like literally, and for a fair, affordable price. Like, for these top gurus, or most of these gurus, to hold your hand, they want $3,500, $35,000, stuff like that, $1 million package and shit like that. That's what they want. Okay, I offer that for $444, man, and I don't even ask y'all for the money up front. Like, y'all could pay me the money like over time. Like, I give you a year to pay me the $444. I hold your hand. Lifetime membership $444 on top of it. I offer a lifetime membership to my university for $444. It was $222. Now it's $444. And the price is only going to keep going up. All my students buying land or have bought land, all my students get it. You know, um, and what get me sometimes is people are so ungrateful. I've had students that, I took them through the whole process. They bought their land or whatever, and people are so ungrateful. It just baffles me. But I just came on here to tell y'all, man, look at all this land. Another thing is that y'all gonna wait until so many people cannot buy any more properties because y'all wages are not going any higher, but everything else is going higher. Food, cost of living, property, real estate. Okay, y'all barely can afford anything anymore. Okay, and y'all gonna keep waiting until people with money or sense really sense, common sense, people that come out of ignorance, because even the Bible tell you, my people suffer for ignorance. Okay, you're gonna have people that come out of their ignorance and they're gonna start coming out here and buying up all this property and land. Okay, you got little Duval just got 53 acres, right? If you take all the men, women, and children, young people in this in America alone, 300 and something million, and you divide that by how much land is in America, it's enough land out of here for every grown man, woman, and young person under 18 to have about 2 acres. It's enough, 2 livable acres, not wetland acres, 2 livable acres. It's enough land out here for everybody to have 2 acres. All right. Now you get somebody buying up 53 acres, 100 some acres, stuff like that. Okay, they buying enough for them, and you take 53, divide that by 225. Call it. Little Duval brought enough land for 26 of his family members and their offsprings. That's some land here they building up. They're gonna sell these homes for $400,000. Okay, in the middle of nowhere, out here in the country. Okay, so little Duval bought enough land for 26 of his family members, and he probably owned other properties too. But y'all gonna wait until people start coming out here in the country and buying up all the land, and then you really ain't gonna be able to buy no land. You really ain't gonna be able to buy no land, because as it is right now, land that used to be like $5,000 an acre, now it's $5,000 for a tenth of an acre. A tenth of an acre. All right? That's, like in places like North Carolina, for a tenth of an acre, a half an acre, something like that. But really, like, a tenth of an acre to a half an acre, somewhere up in there. All right? That's what you get for about $5,000 in North Carolina. Now, if you want to go out in the desert, you'll get, an acre, 2 acres, 4 acres for, 5 acres some places for $5,000. But remember, the cheaper it is, man, is the more you out there in the desert somewhere or some shit like that. Most people still want to be somewhere near a decent civilization. But they are building up the desert and places out there so much that it is literally cities and all type of stuff being built out there in the desert. And y'all gonna wait until even the desert is gonna be expensive. They building earthbag homes, fully self-sufficient homes out there in the desert. Y'all look up earthbag homes. They building fully self-sufficient homes out there in the desert. Okay, earthbag homes. Most people are gonna literally wait until 2030 when you just can't afford shit. You're gonna be on the system where y'all just get $1,400 a month. and you're gonna own nothing and be happy. Universal basic income, $1,400 a month. You're gonna own nothing and be happy. And most people like that now. Most people don't give a damn. They don't want anything. They just see this dimension, this world as, just a place you're just passing through. Most people don't really care to have anything. I get it. I get it. But what about your offsprings, man? Some of y'all say, oh, my offsprings ain't worth the shit. Okay, what about your grand offsprings? Okay, your offsprings might not be listening, but you might have some grand offsprings, great grand offsprings come along and do something. Carry on with what you started. All right, leave it for them. I show y'all how to set up y'all trust, and you could leave stuff to your grand offsprings or your great grand offsprings. You could set things up in a way where you could control everything from beyond the grave. You can still control your whole estate from beyond the grave. Okay? From beyond the grave, you can control things. I show y'all how to set up y'all trust and all that type of stuff. But man, this is so beautiful, man. Just when I ride through the country and look at all this land, all this beautiful land out here, and I'm seeing people come out here buying it up. I am literally seeing people coming out here and buying all of this land up. And like, I'm headed down to the city now, to Fayetteville. And when I get to Fayetteville, it's just a bunch of people around working, getting up, go to work, getting up, go to. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all just get up and go to work, then blow y'all money, then have to get up and go to work again. I don't know how y'all do it. You see me out here working, doing anything. Trust me, that's to get money to invest. Then I take the money out of my investment and I spend that money forever. This physical body can't work forever. And for one, I'm not gonna be one of them just sitting around waiting for my Social Security check to come in before I could go out and do this and do that when I get older. What the fuck I done worked all my life for to still have to live paycheck to paycheck? It's all these people just sit around wait for their Social Security check before they could go anywhere and do anything. That's not gonna be me. That is not me, and it's not never gonna be me. If I want to get up and go somewhere, do something right at that moment, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's not gonna be no situation. It's not no situation for me to have to wait for no damn check. I live on a budget, because I'm still building, but and I'm not gonna just blow my money and my resources and stuff like that because I want to go party and shit like that. No, I'm not to that point where I just have to completely stop working or whatever. I don't like to use that word work because it means work. What work? War. Work means war. That's why when you work, it feels like you at war. So I'm not to that age where, I have to stop working, but I'm definitely at the age where, a time in my life where, I'm not working as hard as I used to. Definitely ain't doing that. Most definitely. I done turned down a few gigs just this month alone, a few $1,000s worth of gigs. Just this month alone. More than that. One gig was a few $1,000s. I fucking blocked that dude out my damn phone. Because one thing I don't like is when people call me to do a fucking estimate. And then it costs me time and money to come out to your place and do an estimate. And then you swear up and down, yeah, man, I need you to come do this, blah, 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 blah. And then I don't hear from you again. In a recent time, I don't hear from you again. I block you out my goddamn phone, man. But anyhow, I'm telling you, the key to life, man, is investing. Y'all see all I wear is a little $2 t-shirt, $5 pair of jeans, and that's it, man. I got my reliable pickup truck, early 2000s pickup truck, and I'm just living my best life, man. Living my best life. Everything else is invested and just growing, 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 just sitting there. So that every year I get up, I'm $170 richer. I'm $170 richer. This is how. You have people that they do this, people that they live off the equity of their properties. My one guy I was talking to, he said, man, my wife, she refinanced the house every year. Every year. You have people that do that. They refinance every year, every 2, 3 years, pull some of the equity out, live off of that, wait till the equity go up again, pull some more money out. They just keep refinancing, refinancing. You have people that do that, all right? Or they'll keep refinancing, buy another asset, or fix up the property to where they do what's called force equity. They force the equity to go up in value. They might pull out 25,000 to remodel the bathroom and kitchen and/or kitchen. So they put 25,000 back into the house, but it probably and get the house reappraised. Pay $1,000, whatever, get the house reappraised, and that done raise the value another 75,000. So they just added $50,000 to equity. So now they could go back and pull out another. You could borrow to like 70% value. Usually up to 70% of your property value. With like a heat something like that. Refinancing and stuff like that. You could borrow up to 70%, but then it's going up. Because they know even if they got to pay for the next 20, 30 years, they know in that time your property value going to be triple what it's worth, quadruple what it's worth. Then they're not worried about it. They just keep insurance on the property, you know. But anyhow, man, I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys how, I'm able to live my lifestyle and not worry about anything, whether I work or not. Like I haven't even worked. I didn't work yesterday. I didn't work day before yesterday. I don't think I worked the day before that, or I might have. I think I did a moving gig. I made a couple $100 off of that. But other than that, man, my life is just smooth sailing. Um, Living my best life. Uh, we having a party later on from my uncle-in-law, and we just living a great life out here in the country, man. And it just irks me how, I see people struggling. I see my own family members struggling, trying to figure it out. And I be trying to give, and I'm like, I'm here to give you the sauce. I'm here to give you the keys to success, and people just don't even see it. You know, I see why a lot of rich people, a lot of millionaires and billionaires, have poor family members. You would be like, damn, this man or woman so rich and they got a poor sister struggling. I think Bill Gates' sister is struggling, and you got family members struggling and shit like that. Because what they want is for you to give them money. These motherfuckers want you to give them money. And you like, God, how much money I'm supposed to, you want me to wipe your ass too? People just want you to give them money. No, I'm not giving you. I could tell you how to get some money, how easy I got it.